Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and our continuing series, the Dreamcast Dreamland, where I take a look at some of my favorite Dreamcast or NAOMI games of all time. Today we have the arcade original Monkey Ball, and wow do I love that dull pineapple balloon. A lot of people seem to think that Monkey Ball got its start on the GameCube as Super Monkey Ball, but this is the first game in the series and it is arcade exclusive and it's technically unported, and damn, is it a really fun game. It basically launched its own genre. Before we get too far involved, do me a huge favor, down below hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Definitely helps us out and it's not hidden in the desert. And if you feel so inclined to want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But I've always loved the Monkey Ball franchise and I remember this in arcades. And what I remember the most about it was the controller was a large yellow banana with a dull sticker on it. Those controllers are extremely hard to come by and coveted these days, but the nice thing is you can just use a standard analog controller. But Monkey Ball is incredibly simple as a premise, but as an actual game is addictively fun, challenging, and can sometimes be maddeningly so difficult. But that is the charm of the game. It makes you think it's going to be very easy, and then it absolutely wipes the floor with you in later levels. The concept's super simple. Roll the monkey in the ball through the goal. All you have is one control, an analog stick. How hard could that be? At the start, not very hard, but the game loves lulling you into a false sense of security, making you think you are really good at it, and then you get to a new floor and suddenly it becomes almost unbeatable. This is the type of game that requires practice and patience for. The more you play it, the better you get at it, the quicker you get, and if you've ever seen any speed runs of Monkey Ball games, some of the tricks and skips that speedrunners do for this game are some of the most impressive things I've ever seen in speedrunning. It's pure muscle reflex and knowledge of the game. It is just wild and I love watching it. Every 5 levels you get a bonus level. All you need to do is collect bananas. It's a fun time, but you can obviously just skip this completely, roll off the course. It does nothing but give you more high score, but I just love how much fun it is rolling around in a hamster ball as a monkey trying to collect bananas. It's such a simple concept on paper, but when you actually get involved in it you realize this game is incredibly deep mechanically. And so much of that depth comes from the physics system in Monkey Ball. It's not real-world physics, it's Monkey Ball physics for sure, but you need to learn exactly how everything moves because it's all momentum-based. And the most fun part is the skips. You'll see I failed the first one. I do know how to do this skip relatively regularly, but you can just start jumping down from platform to platform, making this much easier and quicker on yourself if you know what you're doing. But that requires a lot of practice. I can't imagine pumping quarters into this in arcades to try to learn all those tricks. You would spend hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of dollars in one individual level, but obviously at home, not having to put quarters into it, you can just continually try things until you master them or until you realize maybe they don't work whatsoever. That is the fun of Monkey Ball. It's a quick pick up and play game that looks so simple on the surface, but the incredible amount of depth, tricks, and tips that you can do in this thing are just wild. The game loves teaching you new things. Here you need to learn how to weight and balance that ball, because as the platform moves, your momentum shifts. You're not just going to be stationary on that, you need to carry your momentum with you. Or if you want to do a jump, you realize you have to take off a little bit to the right or else you're going to fly off the stage completely once you bounce back off that wall. This is impressive for Dreamcast era. The amount of physics this is calculating at once must be immense. And let me tell you, speed is your friend. The slower you move, the harder that ball becomes to control, and you just start completely falling off the stage. Once I got to floor 10 in the first area, I just lost it completely. I probably died 30 or 40 times trying to get this done, and it just seemed impossible to me, but I finally did it. But as good as this game is, as much fun as it is to play, the soundtrack is spectacular, so go ahead and enjoy it for like 30-40 seconds. It's got one of my favorite tracks in a Sega arcade game. I think you're going to love it too, but I'll be right back and talk about Monkey Ball. But enjoy! I absolutely love that song, but if you don't, I've got some bad news for you. It's the only one in the game, so you better get used to it and better learn to like it. But moving on, again, it's just throwing more things at us. Now we have these fast-moving floors, but we can't get to the end quite yet. We need to navigate and move, but every time that floor shifts, your momentum shifts, your center of gravity shifts, the physics shift, so you're constantly in your head doing these internal calculations to figure out what the best direction to move is, and it can be quite difficult to understand in the first 5 to 10 minutes, but once the physics engine for Monkey Ball clicks with you, you'll get it, because you can just sprint up something like this, throw the brakes on, and then make micro adjustments to the analog stick until you basically find your center of balance or equilibrium, and then move on. It takes a fine touch, but once you get that touch, it's incredible. Now this game definitely has a lot of secrets as well, some of them a little bit easier to find, some that you wouldn't notice unless you actually die in the stage. Because you'll see here, we have this rotating platform, and if we go off at too wrong of an angle, we're going to hit that post and fall. But when we fall, we see there's actually a secret platform underneath the level. You only see it for a second. What we need to do is use this ramp behind us to go out of the main play area and find that secret exit. And there's secret exits not everywhere, but levels have a decent amount of them. But that ramp is difficult. You need enough speed to be able to get up and over it, but if you carry too much speed, you're going to completely overshoot the very small platform underneath. And you'll see here, I went off at just the wrong angle and I bounced myself off by hitting that railing. Railings have different characteristics on the floor, but if you do it right and bounce yourself the correct way, you can skip ahead. We're moving to floor 10 now. We just skipped 4 whole floors in this game. So if you are going for a speed run, those skips are going to be absolutely crucial. Other times the game is going to give you a challenge and say, which area do you want to go across? This is much wider and easier to navigate, but we're getting absolutely no bananas over here. If you're going for time attack, maybe this would be the best thing to do. If you're going for a high score, this would be the worst path. You get to decide what type of gameplay experience you want. Do you just want to see the ending? Do you want to try to get the highest score? Or do you want to try to get the lowest time? It's 100% up to you what you want to do, and that's why I love this game. It gives you 3 different ways to play it. And I can't stress enough how much fun the sense of discovery in Monkey Ball is, because this level seems to be very easy. Just get the ball through the goal, but now we're dealing with momentum. What angle do we need to take to be able to roll up high enough to get through that goal tape? Every single level is teaching you something. Some levels like this have these launch pads that you need to hit, but you also need to carry enough momentum over them so that you can move forward. Sometimes you don't want to hit them, you need to actually jump over them. Every floor is a learning experience, and this is one of my favorites. All of these little pivots here move and shift based upon the direction you are moving your character. So you need to find a path through, and you're going to discover some of them just don't work. The secret to this one, at least for me, is to go along the outside edge and constantly use the left-hand turning momentum to make all of them slide in so that you can get past them. There's probably like 5 or 6 more ways to complete that level. I just know the one I like to use, and that's how much fun this game is. You get to create your own playthrough, your own path through, and you can go back and replay levels to find out what works. And sometimes in the later levels, you just say, nope, I can't do this today, and you walk away, because this one here, the second floor on the expert skill, just kept killing me over and over again. I probably lost like 20 monkeys in the process. Even the high score entry system is fun. You need to roll around and hit your initials. But yeah, that is Monkey Ball. It started out on the NAOMI, and then it went to the GameCube, and I don't really feel like many people know that Monkey Ball was a Sega kind of creation in the arcades. It's too bad it didn't come to Dreamcast, so by the time it came out in arcades, the Dreamcast was basically dead at home. But yeah, leave me a comment down below. Do you play Monkey Ball? Do you enjoy it? Have you checked out any of the new remakes of the games on modern systems? Short of that, I'll be back with another episode on the Dreamcast when I feel like it. I'll have videos throughout the week as well. But yeah, Monkey Ball, absolutely arcade classic. Bye-bye.